We are still on Crete for this video. You guys got the polite nod. This must be about the, I'm going to say the 20th time I'm here. I've been here since I was a kid, so I made a whole video about that, why I keep coming back to this island and what it means to me personally. Yeah, I love coming back here, but I also love going to other places in the world. I really enjoy traveling, and that is one of the things that is going to be part of this, what I call the second part of my life, as I discussed in my previous video, is to discover new places, to travel around. It's one of the reasons that I wanted to become a full-time content creator. That is a loud cricket.
I follow a few travel vloggers. Most of them are small creators, and with small, I mean under 1 million subscribers, like Adam the Woo or Gabriel Traveler. I follow those gentlemen particularly because they are not the typical travel vloggers. Gabriel is the most adventurous of the two. He travels on a small budget, sometimes ends up in rather challenging locations. But he brings a certain realness to his content that I appreciate. It's not overly spectacular and not too shiny. Just a dude and his GoPro camera traveling the world. And he really is a dude. He would fit the 70s perfectly. Adam the Woo, on the other hand, is less adventurous. He only travels in the States, but he lets his personal interests drive his journeys. Locations where they shot his favorite movies, preferably from the 80s and the 90s. Locations he used to play at with his punk band. A city where his favorite baseball team is playing. And he does even some visits to amusement parks like Disneyland. Adam goes to places that aren't featured in any tourist guide, but they all have their story to tell. Which works better in some cases than in others. And what those guys do? Wow, I don't want to do that type of content.
Oh yeah, because you look smaller.
You don't have to talk that much.
Every single year through winter. And this just keeps growing and growing and growing, which is kind of insane because you can see statues, like pillars that have fallen over. It's just insane. Like, we consider this a tourist attraction, but at some point it was somebody's life. I just want to do my thing, and I think these types of videos are kind of the first iteration of what my style could be, where I travel around the world. I discuss a topic with you guys, but I get to show off the environment that I'm in. I've experimented with the more classic travel vlogging in the past, and it didn't really work for me. I even did this short format where I tried to put a whole day in 1-minute videos, which was kind of fun, but it wasn't my thing either. By the way, there's a small detail that almost nobody knows about. If you go back and check those videos that are still on my channel, there is actually a ghost in every single one of those videos. For real. Go check him out. If you watch closely, you might see Hilde wearing a sheet, not a shit. That would be very different. What did you think of my backyard? Beautiful, right? Yeah.
My goal is to hopefully get this content creation story going and to have it grow to the point where I can travel to make new content. Content for all of my other channels can be made anywhere in the world, preferably in my studio, sure, but I can plan around that. On this channel, I want to make content from interesting places in interesting ways. And that could include Disneyland, New York, Paris, Berlin, Australia, and just as well my own hometown or my little studio. Let's be honest, at least 50% or maybe even 70% of the videos will always be made locally, or right here on Crete. But it would be so awesome if I could occasionally greet you guys from other places with an interesting story to tell.
This is one of the highest places I've been on this island. Like, we came from back there and it was so quiet. There was nothing you could hear, not a cricket, not a bird. But we descended a little bit now. Back there is the sea. We're going to go to that beach. But there's so much to see on this island, and not only on this island, there's so much to see all over the world. And if I visit these places, it makes me appreciate home a lot more. I tend to get a little stressed by routine, by being home for too long.
It also challenges me, gets me out of my comfort zone, and it also makes me a better movie maker. Every location, every trip, every adventure brings new challenges. I want to conquer them all. Well, maybe one day.
For now, we're going to drive down there and visit Cali Limenes. And in a few days we're flying back to Belgium. So